What is up, bros and broettes? I am Inkslasher, and welcome to Evolution, the series where we look at the history of Call of Duty. And throughout this series, we've looked at many different things. We've looked at weapons, we've looked at attachments, and today we are looking at a map. Now, we've looked at maps before, but today we are looking at Terminal. And I'm actually a little bit sorry that this video didn't come out over the weekend. Unfortunately, I was at COD Champs, which I will have a video up about that either tomorrow or the next day. I'm not exactly sure, but it should be up one of those days. But today we're looking at the evolution of Terminal. Now, Terminal is one of the very few maps to be made 3 times. We've got Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and Infinite Warfare. Another one that we covered recently in the Evolution series is Nuketown. It was made in Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 3. But I believe there are 2 other maps that have been made 3 times, and if you know what they are, write them down in the comment section below. I actually have a code from Call of Duty Champs to give you guys a free skin, and the people who get it right, I'm going to send you a DM or something on Twitter or something on YouTube to give you guys that code. So if you want to win that code, hit that like button and write down in the comments what are the 2 other maps that have been recreated 3 times. Oh, and I didn't mention this, but I only have 4 codes, so I will choose 4 of you who get it right at random. Now, as far as the very first Terminal, this was in Modern Warfare 2, and this was immediately a fan favorite map. It was one of those maps that people just loved playing, and really, I don't quite understand why. Most of the fan favorite maps in Call of Duty history are, generally speaking, the smallest maps in the game. For example, you got Nuketown, you got Shipment, you got Rust. Those are generally like the fan favorites because, generally speaking, you can get those really high scores where you get a lot of kills really quickly. Terminal isn't so much like that. It's actually a very odd map to be a fan favorite because by all means this map is not symmetrical. So when you look at most maps in Call of Duty, they're going to be symmetrical. They're going to look the same on both sides, and this one is not like that whatsoever. In fact, one side takes place inside, one side takes place outside. It's not symmetrical or linear whatsoever. Now, some of the most notable spots is, of course, the giant hallway running down the middle of the map. Another one is the area that you can get to with the giant gas tank outside that looks over that central hallway, which a lot of people back in Modern Warfare 2 used to noob tube the enemies. And of course, the area inside the airplane where people would love to camp, whether that was in the cockpit or just hiding behind some seats in the airplane, people would always tend to just gravitate to here to find somewhere to hide. So if this map was just an average size medium map, it wasn't symmetrical, it wasn't the most fair map of Call of Duty of all time, why did people love it so much? Well, one reason could be this may be the most controversial multiplayer map of all time. Now, this multiplayer map was based off of the mission No Russian from Modern Warfare 2, which, if you remember, was the mission where you would play as terrorists and assault an airport. Now, this map takes place on that exact airport. So this controversial reason could be the reason why this map is so popular and known by so many Call of Duty players. Now, come Modern Warfare 3, Terminal was actually released as a free DLC map, something we haven't seen in a really long time in Call of Duty. Now, this map was released kind of halfway through Modern Warfare 3's life cycle, but the more interesting thing about this is that it wasn't really a remodel of the map. It was a direct remake. Basically, all they did from Terminal, from Modern Warfare 2, was up the graphics and change some of the posters that were on the wall. As far as the design of the map, where things were on the map, nothing like that actually changed. The only thing that changed whatsoever was the graphics and some of the aesthetics and pictures on the wall. And even though some of the aesthetics on the wall and that kind of thing actually changed, a lot of them even remain the same. For example, if we go up to the airplane board where it shows which flights are delayed, canceled, that kind of thing, all of the flights are delayed except for one, the flight going to Paris. This is the same on Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. However, in Infinite Warfare, this has changed altogether as it's no longer an airport, it's a space station. And this really brings us to Infinite Warfare. This is the first real remake or reimagining of the map Terminal. And as I mentioned, the design of it is almost like an airport for space travel, somewhere you could go, travel to different planets, travel to different moons, that kind of thing. And like I said, the airplane board is completely different than it was in Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3, not showing Paris as the only flight available. So as far as the gameplay and how the map actually plays in Infinite Warfare versus Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, they changed it a little bit, but by no means did they change the map a lot. They did make the map a little bit larger to account for the advanced movement in Infinite Warfare. For example, they enlarged some of the areas, especially the areas inside the airport. And as far as the outside of the airport goes, they did add a couple of different head glitch spots, whether that be crates or things you can even jump on top of that aren't there in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. But other than those little crates and barrels and stuff like that outside, the overall design of the map really hasn't changed at all, other than, of course, changing the airplanes to spaceships. Now, I know this is a really short episode of Evolution, but there really isn't too much to talk about as far as Terminal goes. When we talked about Nuketown, there was a ton of Easter eggs and stuff like that to cover, whereas Terminal, it's mostly just the design of the map and the few different gameplay styles that have changed throughout the evolution of it. So let me know down in the comments below what you would like to see me look at next in the Evolution series. Is there a weapon? Is there a map? Is there an attachment? Let me know down in the comment section below. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see here, you can always hit that subscribe button and be sure to stay tuned. We got a vlog from Call of Duty Champs coming up, and many great videos, including World War II and Black Ops 3 videos coming up, so stay tuned for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard, and I want